President Trump pardoned Joe Arpaio this week. The former sheriff of Maricopa County, Arizona, is to be sentenced in October for contempt of court over immigration crackdown that he headed that illegally targeted Latinos.
You know what? I'll make a prediction. I think he's going to be just fine, okay?
And I always said, regardless of pardon or no pardon, I'll be with him to the end.
But Arizona's Republican senators, John McCain and Jeff Flake, denounced the president's decision, and it has been alleged that Arpaio mistreated inmates and undocumented immigrants in his outdoor tent city jail in Phoenix. Now, this is the latest back and forth between the president and the leaders of the Republican Party. So Melissa and I asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown for his take on President Trump and his relationship with the fellow GOPs.
Well, first and foremost, they're not his fellow Republicans. This guy is such thrill that he lands wherever it's convenient for him to land and wherever at the moment he might be welcome. He took over the Republican Party. He obliterated the Republican Party, and they still haven't gotten over it.
It was interesting in Phoenix. I didn't hear him refer to Republicans until the very end, and even then he just said, "You're two congressmen here, and can you get your senator to vote that way?" He referred to it as the movement. It's the movement. He didn't say a party platform. It was the movement talking to his people.
Well, at the same time, though, it's hard to say, here's what Trumpism is separate from Republicanism. And so when you ask, and I have asked members of Congress, what's the difference, Republicans, what's the difference between Republicanism and Trumpism? And they really can't articulate it. It's clear that he doesn't have a lot of love for the party necessarily or respect for the party line, but it's hard to say what he is outside of that at the same time.
This country has real difficulty in acknowledging that for the first time, a third party has emerged and a third party has been successful standing on the heads of a delinquished, discredited other party. The Republicans have been successfully discredited as Republicans. He wiped out 16 or 17 luminary Republicans, credentialed Republicans, elected Republicans in order to get the presidency, and he did so in the name of Trump.
Well, and remember, it's easy to look and say, you know what, you're alienating the people, the very votes that you need to get your agenda through. Having said that, though, it's clear that a number of his supporters don't think that it's Trump's problem. They blame Congress for the failure of the wall, for the failure of infrastructure and things like that.
Speaking of Congress, if you are a congressperson or a senator and you're looking at Trump's approval ratings, which are in the 30s, which shows his base, where do you stand in this upcoming session? Do you go with him? Do you go against him? Which way do you go? Because that's still a potent number in your district.
Keep in mind, you really don't have to do anything except make sure that the people in your district knows where you are on the issues that they care about, that Trump may be for or may be against. That's what's important. The ultimate success of a Trump program will not be how you measure Trump. It will be how good is he at the next rally.
And it's interesting, in California, we have 7 seats that Democrats are pouring a lot of money into to try to unseat Republicans. These are all districts where Hillary Clinton did better than Donald Trump. What's the prognosis?
Well, you know, it's one thing to say these people might be feeling a little alienated from the Trump administration. Maybe you find some Republicans whose opinions have diminished or independents. But it's another thing to say they're going to vote for a Democrat. That's not something I think you can assume. And so it's going to take more than just saying, hey, Donald Trump is bad and these guys are also in the same party to get a Democrat to flip the seats that they're trying to flip here in California.
Yeah, but we are California. That's different than the rest of the country.
Hillary Clinton is giving her perspective on the 2016 presidential race in her new book, What Happened?
And so we asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown. The question is, a lot of times these books, they're sort of a precursor to the comeback. And we wanted to know what his thoughts were on Hillary Clinton's political future.
Oh, no. No. She is going to enjoy, frankly, first, being a grandmother. That she's going to do. She's going to hype that. It's almost like she's going to put the cookie apron back on and really do it right.
Did Hillary Clinton ever wear a cookie apron?
Yes, she did. Don't you recall? When they questioned whether or not she was really a housewife, she put on the cookie apron. and she did the number. She even cried in the primary campaign in New Hampshire. And all of that changed the whole dynamics of the operation. She is going to recapture that magic.
I thought she was famous for saying she wasn't going to sit around and bake cookies and got totally assailed for it. I know it's a cookie debate right now, but look, I have a hard time believing that someone like her is going to sort of go gently into the sunset. I think she will still be around raising money for the causes that she cares about and still, you know, opining on certain issues. I think the idea of her sitting around crocheting, you know, while the sun sets is not going to be realistic. She is just sort of a powerhouse of energy, and I think she'll find ways to do that.
Well, keep in mind, that's not her running for office again, though. She is not going to do that. That is all over. It may be that her daughter doesn't do it either. Remember, they were talking at one time about the potential for her daughter, if she had won the presidency, of course, that would have been the next generation of the Clinton clan doing whatever they do.
So is this the end of the Clinton era?
Oh, no. Bill is going to do, you know, he'll be doing the farewell tour, as I call it, showing up here in San Francisco on the 8th of September, doing what he does. And last night, I ran into a guy who saw him in Florida, and he said, the first thing he said was, "You're from San Francisco? You know Willie Brown." I said, "Yeah, I'm going to see him." I mean, Bill Clinton is going to be on the streets.
Time out right here. Everything, eventually, for folks out there watching, eventually, I don't care if it's the sun rising or the sun setting on the Clintons, it turns around when you talk to him to being about Willie Brown.
Everything but the eclipse.